Welcome back. In the last lesson, we learned how to use if statements to make decisions in Python. But what happens if the condition is not true? That's where the else statement comes in. In this lesson, we will explore how to handle both possibilities, that is, what to do if a condition is true and what to do if the condition is not true. Think about ordering food at a restaurant. When you check their menu, if they have your favorite dish, you order it. If they don't have it, you pick an alternative. This decision-making process is just what if and else statements do in Python. The else statement provides an alternative block of code to run when the if condition is not true. It works as a fallback option. As you can see here, the else block does not have a condition. It automatically runs when the condition in front of the if statement is false. For example, let's say we want to get an input from our user. Let's say we want to get a number from our user. Let's say we have number to be equal to. So we're going to convert our input to an integer. We have input, okay? Then you can tell the user to enter a number, right? Okay, so we are converting the string to an integer. So we are going to check if the number provided by the user is greater than 0, right? So if the number is greater than 0, we are going to print and say this is a positive number, right? Okay, now after that, we are going to have else. So else will be at the same line as the if statement. It is not going to be indented inside of the if statement. So else, we are going to print, okay, you are going to say this is a negative number, all right. Okay, so now if the number provided by the user is greater than 0, it is positive. Else, it is a negative number. So let's run this now. We're going to have enter a number. That is the prompt given by this input function. So let me enter 19. Okay, so let me enter that. You see, this is a positive number because the condition is true. So this line of code will be executed. All right, so let's run this again now and provide a negative number. I'm going to provide -2. Okay, so let me enter that. You see what we have? This is a negative number. Because this condition is not true, so this block of code will be skipped, and then the block of code in the else statement is what will be executed. The block of code in the else statement is automatically executed if the condition here is not true. Now, with the knowledge of our else statement, we can also improve on our voting eligibility checker by also providing message to users that are not eligible to vote. So let me comment this out and quickly implement our voting eligibility checker up to the point we did in our previous lesson. So we are going to print. So I'm going to say, are you old enough to vote? Okay, so that's a question. Right, after that, I'm going to get the age of the user. So we use the input function. In the integer function, after that, we have the input. So I'm going to say, enter your age. Okay, so after that, I'm going to say if age is greater than or equal to 18. Okay, we have a colon. All right, so we're going to say we are going to print I'm going to print a string with new line syntax. I'm going to say, yeah, right, you are eligible, okay, eligible to vote. All right, so I want to believe that you understand what we did up to this point. We print, are you eligible to vote? Are you old enough to vote? Then we pass a prompt to the user for the user to enter their age. We convert the age to an integer because input is going to give us string. All right, so at this point, we check if the user's age is greater than or equal to 18. If it is greater than 18 or the user is 18 years old, that means the user is eligible to vote. Now, if this condition is false, that is where we are going to use the else statement. We are going to say else. That means, so we are going to print, I'm going to print a message to the user that, sorry, you are not old enough to vote. Okay, so we can also provide a personalized message that you are going to say print. You use an F string, so you are going to say you have, okay, you have, how many years is it remaining for you to be able to vote? So we are going to say 18. That is going to be 18 minus your age, minus the user's age. So you have this years until you can vote. Okay, you have this years to go until you can vote. All right, so let's run this now. So are you old enough to vote? Enter your age. Let's say I'm 18. Okay, so yeah, I'm eligible to vote. Okay, so we have space here. We can get rid of the space here. Okay, so that there will be no space here. All right, so let me provide an age that is not eligible to vote. Let me provide 16. Okay, so if I enter that, you can see, sorry, you are not old enough to vote. You have 2 years to go until you can vote. All right, so you can see the else statement in action. Whenever the condition is not true, the else statement automatically runs. All right, so with this, you will agree with me that we can refactor our code in the last challenge. We write less code that will still achieve the same result. Okay, so I will put the challenge to you now. Go to our last challenge, use authentication system, refactor the code using the else statement so that we achieve the same result without writing multiple conditional statements. Pause the video now, give that a try. I will see you when you are done. All right, so I want to believe that you've given that a try. So let's solve it together. We can comment this out. All right. Okay, so we want to modify our user authentication system challenge. Okay, so I have the code on my clipboard there, so I'm just going to copy it. So this is the code. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to use the else statement to achieve the same result for these two conditions. So what we are going to do is, if this condition is true, run this code. So else, okay, we are going to change this to else rather than using two conditions. So let me put this after this. Okay, so if this condition is true, run this line, else run this line. So if I run this again now, okay, so log into your account, enter your username. My username is Toyosi Ola. Okay, enter your password. I'm going to enter wrong password. So my password is supposed to stop at 9, but I'm stopping at 6. So if I run this now, so you have invalid login credentials because this condition is not true. So we are running the else block. Okay, so that's how you make use of the else statement in your conditional statement. In the next lesson, we'll take this further by learning how to undo multiple conditions using the else statement. So for that, I will see you in the next lesson.